The Name of the Star and The Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. There are going to be spoilers, so just warning you now. Brief summary for The Name of the Star. This girl, Rory, goes to London because her parents are teaching in England for a little bit, so she chooses a school to go to. She has this brush with death and develops an ability to see ghosts. Then, after this new ability pops up, she becomes a witness in the Jack the Ripper case that's going on because somebody's going around imitating all of his murders. So she happens to see him, and he becomes very interested in her because he's a ghost and he's the one who's, murdering everybody. She is the witness, and these secret, they're part of a secret branch of the government called the Shades, which is why the series is called the Shades of London series. So they look out for her because she is his last target that, he wants to kill. Because she can see him, so he becomes very interested and he wants to gather their attention. And, things go along. She finally finds out that she saw a ghost and that she can see ghosts throughout the entire thing. So towards the end, he actually gets what he wants. He gathers the Shade's attention, and he basically cripples them by taking their one weapon against the ghosts to make them disappear. So he takes them and gets rid of two of them. There's only three. He gets rid of two of them, and he has to follow her back to her school, where one of the other Shades has been, watching over her by pretending to go to school with her. He gets there and they're at the school, he gets what he wants, and he tries to kill her. And almost succeeds, and he gives her their last weapon called the Terminus. I think that's how you pronounce it, Terminus. And has her hold on to it while she's dying because he has this theory that someone, while holding a Terminus, will come back as a ghost because he died holding on to his. But then this other ghost that was a friend comes in and saves her by using the Terminus and by destroying him and herself. So that's the Name of the Star. In The Madness Underneath, it's a few weeks later. She's, healing, mostly healed, and she's stuck with her parents in Bristol because they're angry because she got hurt at her school and it wasn't supposed to happen. And they're parents. So she, after the explosion that was caused when the ghost used the Terminus to destroy the Jack the Ripper, Rory has turned into a Terminus herself. She can destroy ghosts with a single touch. And she discovers this by accident. And the Shades have been, watching her. So they find out and they make it so she can return to London back to her school so that, they can get her help because they're kind of weaponless and they can't really deal with ghosts without Terminus, or at least they don't know how. So she returns to London. She meets back up with her friends and everything, and it's going fine at first. And she's encouraged to see this other woman for therapy. she goes, and you kind of get this funny feeling about this woman, like she's a bit cuckoo. And then later you find out that she's kind of been spiking the brownies with drugs, which is, I have to agree with what Callum said, that has put me off therapy for the rest of my life. It didn't help that I didn't like it to begin with. And then it turns out her therapist can see ghosts too, and they know that she is a terminus as well, and they want to use her, and they try to get her cooperation by kidnapping one of her schoolmates. They're not necessarily friends, but they go to school together, and Rory, she's a good kid, she cares. So they try to do that, except for the Shades they're not really stalking her, I'm sorry. There's no stalkers, for the most part. They find out because they slipped one of their cell phones into her pocket and she doesn't know, so they follow her and they save her before she can be carted off and possibly killed. We don't know what they were planning, and frankly it's a terrifying thought. That happens, and then in the end, Stephen, poor Stephen, he ends up dying, and Rory tries to use her Terminus power thing so that he can be brought back as a ghost, and then it just ends there. They don't know if he came back or not. They have a good feeling, but they don't know. They need to find him. So that's how it ends. And Maureen, why? Why would you kill him off? You've said on Twitter that a good thing comes from the bad thing, and the bad thing was Stephen dying, and I don't. How is that good? How can anything good come from that? I mean, you're a brilliant author. You are amazing. I love your books. I've read most of them. I don't understand how anything good can come from that. But I will just have to trust you. Mostly because I don't have any other choice. Because you're the one writing it. And, you know, I really want to find out. I mean, it's good. The writing, the plot line, the way it moves along, it's not boring. You don't hit a spot where it's just, it's pointless or it seems pointless. It's just, it keeps moving, you know. You find out more and more things, but the more you find out, the more questions that pop up, and it's just, it's kind of addictive. You want to know, but there's only 2 books right now. I need more. But yeah, so it's really good. I would recommend it if you're into ghosts or the paranormal or supernatural, fantasy, stuff like that. I would seriously suggest it because it is an amazing book. They are both amazing books, and Maureen is a very fantastic writer. She's a bit crazy, but you know, I think all writers are a tad crazy. But I think that's what makes us awesome. So anyway, I don't really have anything bad to say about it other than why Stephen? Why? I don't understand. But yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say. So it's awesome. You should read it. Okay, so a couple things I forgot to say the other day when I was originally filming this. Was the one thing that I really loved when I was reading The Madness Underneath. Not so much, I didn't really notice it so much when I was rereading The Name of the Star, but in The Madness Underneath, like, after following Maureen on Twitter and stalking her online for a while, yes, online stalking. Online stalking is fun. And, you know, I'm not one of those weird people who tries to figure out where other people live. So, yeah. But one of the things I loved is that you could tell, like some of the phrasing and the words and just the way things were said within the book. You could tell that, you know, Maureen was the one who wrote it. It was just, had some of her phrases that she used on Twitter a few times, and it kind of made me giggle every time I saw one. And, you know, I really liked the relationship between Rory and her school friend Jerome. Jerome. I think that's how you say his name. But, I really liked the relationship together, because they weren't, you know, just kind of the typical mushy, I love you, you're amazing and awesome kind of thing. They would, like, kind of play, insult each other, and it was just, I don't know, to me, it was cute and adorable, and I really loved it. I liked how, you know, they weren't your typical, just mushy over romantic thing, so it was very refreshing to read for me. And, you know, another thing, like, the whole Stephen dying thing, as, you know, as much as it hurts, as much as I cried over it, before it came out, when Maureen said that somebody was going to die in the madness underneath, I just, for some reason, my mind just immediately jumped to Stephen. So it really wasn't, you know, that, not that surprising. Granted, the way he died was very surprising, and I'm just like, that's horrible. And it was horrible. And I cried for like 5 minutes, and my entire day was ruined, because I think I read that at like 7 o'clock in the morning, so that was pretty bad for me. I was like near tears for the entire day. But yeah, for some reason, just, I immediately knew that Stephen was the one who was going to die. And I might have accidentally spoiled myself, because I have this weird thing, like knowing how many pages there are in a book. And unfortunately it's on that very last page, so I accidentally spoiled myself. But again, I really, like, as much as I was heartbroken over it, and I am, it wasn't that surprising. So, there was that, and I don't know why, but I can sometimes just predict those things. I knew it had to be either Stephen or Jerome. But for some reason I immediately thought it was going to be Stephen. So that was weird and very sad. And I'm still not over it. I don't think I'm going to be over it until we get answers in the next 2 books, which I can't wait for. I'm so excited. You know, as you can tell, I feel a little better than what I did in the original video. But yeah, so anyway, let me know what you guys think. This is the first time I've ever made one of these videos, so I would like your feedback, your thoughts on the book itself, you know, just, do you have differing opinions, you know, what are your feelings over Stephen? We can all cry together. But yeah, so just let me know.